Oh, guys, it is cold. Summer is up and down at the moment. I'm just walking outside to get into my new car. And we can have a little chat in there, but I thought I would do this episode a little differently in the new Kia Sorento Platinum 2012. That's right, it's 2012, the model. But I thought we would do this episode a little bit differently. I'll probably walk around the house as I'm doing things, so it's sort of a walking with Pete episode. But obviously I wanted to start in the car because I have a big announcement to make. And that is that I am going to give away, that's right, for free to one of you guys, my old car, my station wagon, the very first car that I had once I began my relationship with Kel. So as you guys will be aware if you've been following me recently, where I recently bought this car, it's been a big thing for me. So I'll tell you the story, and I hope you don't mind me telling you numbers, the price of things, but I'm not really worried about talking about money. I like sort of letting you guys in on that kind of stuff so that you have an idea of what things cost. And, I know it's very important to kind of get your bearings, right? To have an idea of prices, where you are, what to aim for, what's possible, that sort of stuff. So obviously I've been working hard for the last 4 years with Aussie English, maybe a little bit longer, maybe 2015. So I think I started the end of 2015. So maybe 5 years. Yeah, anyway, that's not the point. But I've been working hard on that, trying to grow that, and obviously left my job. I was doing a PhD. I left that. I decided I didn't want to do that anymore, and that instead I wanted to continue with the podcast and make it my full-time career, because I really got a lot out of helping you guys. It was so much more satisfying recording podcast episodes, creating content, putting it up on the website, and helping you guys to improve your English than it was to study at a desk and do research science. Nothing wrong with doing that, and that was still fun, but I just got a lot more out of helping you guys, because on a day-to-day basis, on a daily basis, I would receive messages from you guys asking questions, giving me feedback, and also saying thank you all the time. I just received an amazing message, and I might actually read this out to you guys. Hopefully she won't mind, but I won't name her. But I asked her if I could share this with you guys, but this is the stuff that really gets me and brings a bit of a tear to my eye, right? So you guys mean a lot to me, and that's the reason why I chose to continue doing Aussie English, because I feel so fulfilled and satisfied helping you guys to achieve, better things in your life as a result of improving your English abilities when you move to Australia, when you study in Australia, when you travel to Australia, right? Or even if you're elsewhere in the world, obviously, and just using English. Anyway, so this girl sent me a message saying, "Hey Pete, I just wanted to say thank you," and she wrote thank you in capitals, "for the hard work you do helping us to level up English. I decided to take the test," I believe she's talking about IELTS, "but I don't have the discipline to study it, and heard many people saying that it is super hard to get a good mark. So if you want to do it, you have to study almost every single day for a year." So dramatic. But I started little by little listening to your podcast, learning new phrases every time, then started to listen to the podcast and became obsessed with it, and couldn't go one day without listening to at least 30 minutes of Aussie English. Then I decided to finally take the risk, and I got 7.5 overall and 8 on listening for the IELTS exam. I didn't feel it as if I was studying. It just became part of my routine. Again, thank you so much. God bless you. I know it's not easy to keep the channel alive, but you can see how you change people's lives. So guys, first of all, to this person, hopefully she listens to this episode, and, thank you so much for sending me that kind of message, because that's my fuel. That's what really keeps me going, right? It touches me to get those kinds of messages, tearing up a little bit at the moment. But yeah, so that is the main reason, right? I would never receive anything like that for studying science, right? Or at least it'd have to be something very, very rare, very strange, very peculiar for you to receive a message like that, a life-changing message, because of your study, of rats, what I was studying whilst at the museum in Melbourne University. So anyway, long story short, you guys are the reason I started Aussie English. You guys are the ones who buy my products, who listen to my podcast, who share it with other people, who support me, who give me the motivation to keep doing what I'm doing. And yeah, because you pay my bills, I'm just doing Aussie English. This is all that I currently do to support myself, to support my wife, Hakel, and to raise our child, Noah. You guys are the reason that I exist. So it's a massive thank you to you guys. For the last year, I've been trying to grow Aussie English as much as possible and help you guys, but also with an eye on the future. And first and foremost, I wanted to get a house, right? So you probably know that story where I didn't have enough saved up, right? So I think I had like $10,000 saved up, which wasn't enough to obviously get a house loan. And the main problem was that Aussie English has been growing quite dramatically over the last few years, where the first year when I started to sell products, I probably made a few $1,000s in that entire year. The next year, it was something, tens of thousands of dollars. And so the problem was that my last tax returns, my most recent tax returns, because the amount on the last 2 tax returns I've done hasn't been very big. I think I had something like $50,000 of taxable income last year for the entire year, from everything that I did, including private lessons and whatever else. And so that was nowhere near enough on one income for us to get a loan, a sizable loan, to get a house. So in other words, I had to wait. I will have to wait another few years before the income is at a point where I can get a loan from a bank or from a lender to be able to buy a house. And for your reference, the kinds of houses that are around here, for a, say, 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom house for the average family, in the suburb that I'm in currently, they're between about $600,000 to $1 million, right? Over a 30-year period that you would pay that off. So it's crazy. I have to be able to get a loan of about at least $500,000 to be able to get into a house. So with that in mind, I thought, all right, so we're not going to have enough to buy a house in the next few years, so we'll just keep saving for that slowly. But the next thing that was really important to me was buying a car. I wanted a safer car, a newer car, a more comfortable car to have my family in, so that we can go on road trips, so that if I have my son in the back, I know that the safety in the car is at such a level that if anything were to happen in the future, especially when Kel learns to drive and she starts taking the car out by herself, I know that they'll be as safe as possible. So I wanted to buy the newest possible car I could, that was in as nice a condition as possible. So I saved up for probably the last year and a half, just saving. I think I saved up, I had $20,000 in my bank account, maybe a bit more, but that's sort of Aussie English's money as well. And I found this car for $20,000, $19,000, and it had only 59,000 kilometers on it. It was a 2012 model, and I just had to jump on the opportunity and get it, right? It was a scary thing, spending that kind of money, that amount of money on something, because I've never spent that amount of money on anything in my life. And the only reason I can really justify it is because of my family, first and foremost. I don't think I would have ever bought this car if I had been single and not had a family, but yeah, but it's because of you guys. So that's why I wanted to be making this episode. I wanted to say thank you so much for all the support, all the shares, all the messages, and obviously every single person who's bought anything from Aussie English. That money has directly gone into this car, which will provide safety and security for my family, and also allow me, hopefully now, to travel around more comfortably and provide you more content around Australia. We want to do quite a few road trips in this car. So with that spiel aside, I decided, I could sell my old, as in previous car. It's not that old. It's a 2004 model BA Falcon. It has quite a few Ks on it, 308,000 kilometers on it. But the good thing about these cars is they're very common. They were made in Australia. There are parts everywhere, and the parts are very cheap. And mechanics can work on them pretty much anywhere in Australia. Any mechanic will be able to repair this kind of car. So they're cheap to insure, they're cheap to fix, They're cheap to buy. And so my plan was originally, I'll sell it and I'll, make maybe $2,500 from the sale after I get it roadworthy and repair whatever needs to be repaired. But then I thought, you know what? It's just a few $1,000s. It's not the end of the world. And I want to show my gratitude to you guys. So I decided that I'm going to give it away in a competition to one of you guys. So the idea currently is that once I launch this competition, it'll be a 30-day competition where there'll be a few conditions. You'll have to be in Australia. You'll have to have an Australian license, I believe, so that you can buy the car and change it into your name. Okay, so that's one of those things. You'll need a license that's valid in Australia, I believe. Okay, so I'll probably have to check, but I think you'll need an Australian license. If you've got a full license in your country, they're pretty easy to sort out. You just have to go to somewhere like Vic Roads and you can just purchase it or change your license over. Worst case scenario, you might have to do a driving test, but I know that loads of you get to Australia, you don't have any transport and you need to be able to get around. You need a job, right? And when you get a job, you need to be able to get to work. Or maybe you have a family and you want to go on road trips. Or maybe you don't have a family and you want to go on road trips. But I know that transport is a very important thing to you guys, and that's why I wanted to give this car away. So it's old, it's a 2004 model, but it's incredibly reliable. There is nothing wrong with it currently. The only reason I want to get rid of it is because I've upgraded and I only want one car at the moment, right? Kel can't drive. She doesn't have a license. She's going to sort that out this year, but we don't need two cars, right? So that's why I want to get rid of it. So the idea will be that you need to come and get the car. So if you win the prize, you'll have to come and get it. You'll have to have a license so that you can have it transferred into your name, but it will be free from me. I will not ask any money. I will give you the keys, the winner, and the car is yours. However, you will have to, when you change the car over into your name, when you register it under your name, when you go to somewhere like Vic Roads, if you're in Victoria, you have to pay stamp duty, which is a few $100s. So that'll be up to you guys, okay? But I'm just letting you know. And you'll also have to get insurance on the car, which I think at the moment is a few $100s a year for third-party insurance. So yeah, the plan now is to run the competition for 30 days. In order to win, you're going to have to send me a video or a written email that tells me how winning this car is going to change your life for the better in Australia. So I want you to tell me in a short video or, a few hundred words how having this car is going to make your life easier, improve your life. I want to know how it's going to help you in Australia. And there are going to be three main prizes for this competition. Number one will be the car, and it will also be a year membership to the Aussie English Academy. The second prize will be just a year membership, 12 months to the Academy. I think these are normally $800, right? So you're saving a bunch of money. If you were to get it month to month, that's about $800 a year. So these will be free for the first and the second winners. And the third prize will be a month free in the Academy, okay? The only other thing to be able to enter this competition, I should add, is that you need to be in the Academy, in the premium podcast, or you have to have bought a course from Aussie English, okay? So in other words, you have to have purchased something from me. And this is the reason that I've got the new car, right? You're one of the people who's helped me get the new car. If you've purchased something from me and you reply to the receipt email to that purchase with the video or a written email of how this car will change your life in Australia, you'll go into the draw to win this. And Kel's going to be the person, my wife will be the person to choose the winner. Okay, so I'll probably write this out and make it a little clearer about what you need to do in order to enter the competition, because there's a few things that I've mentioned in there, but that's my current idea. Okay, first prize will be the car and a year membership in the Academy for free. Second prize will be a year membership in the Academy for free. Third prize will be a month membership in the Academy for free. To enter it, you have to purchase something from Aussie English, and you have to make a video or write a short piece telling me how the car would improve your life in Australia. and then email that to me in a reply to one of your receipts for buying something, okay? So I know that you've bought something from the website and that you're entering the competition. I'm going to run it for 30 days from when you first hear this episode, and I'll announce the winner after that, okay? So that's about it, guys. I'm still in the car here. I was meant to walk around. I wanted to get a drink, but yeah, this has probably gone long enough. But I wanted to share that with you, you know. I just want to say thank you so much again. I really appreciate how much hard work you guys put in to improving your English, to improving your lives, to moving to Australia. I know it's such a big thing, and this is the reason I wanted to do what I can, the little that I can, to boost some of you guys, you know, the winners of this competition, to help you and make your lives easier in Australia, right? I know how hard it is when you completely change your life like that. So anyway, guys, I hope you're looking forward to this competition. I definitely am, and I can't wait to give the keys to the winner. So apart from that, guys, you know, thank you so much again. I can't say thank you enough. I really, really appreciate all of you, and I will talk to you soon. Peace.